I'm not mistaken, the Christian Bible they reverse the order of the prophets in the Old Testament. And the reason why, you could correct me if I'm wrong or add to what I'm saying. I think the reason why is because they wanted to end on Malachi, because Malachi talks about the Messiah and talking about not John the Baptist, but talks about Elijah coming back right at the end. So it leads up to Matthew saying John the Baptist is the new Elijah. Now, the real order of the prophets should end on the Nehemiah, because that's the last one, right?
Should end in the Ketuvim, and therefore end in Chronicles. And what's really crazy, you want to hear crazy? Like, we have to do Lamaz now for craziness. So this also is a later invention. That means the writers of the New Testament knew the correct order, which is the Jewish order, to have the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, then the Nevi'im, what's called the prophets, and the Ketuvim, which is called the writings. Now, the writings are all written by prophets. I'll get to in a moment why there's that division. But it's the Torah, the Nevi'im, the prophets, and the writings, like Psalms, like Proverbs, the wisdom literature, and in Chronicles. Now, the New Testament writers knew that order. How do you know they knew it? Because it says it. Where? Luke 24:44. Please take a moment, look it up for yourself. And you're going to see there, it mentioning that Jesus is the fulfillment of the Jewish Bible. It says the Torah, the prophets, and Psalms, which is interchangeable with writings. And they actually reverse the prophets and writings. Now we have to get to the reason why. The reason why is very, very nefarious. This is really dark. All right, we'll do it. I'll do it real cover real fast. So what is the difference between the prophets and the writings? So the prophets, like Joshua, really important judges, Samuel, Kings, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, etc., all the rest of it, those books are written with very harsh criticism. The prophet, the parts that are called the Nevi'im, the prophets, basically engage in one overarching theme, and that is to criticize the Jews for every mistake they've made and what they have to correct. So that part of the prophets is dominated by enormous criticism of every mistake ever made. If you lived during biblical times and you wanted to make it into the Bible, you wanted to have that sin, and that's what will get you in. And then the Bible will highlight that, and it ignores almost anything else. Really great kings are hardly mentioned. Yotam, you haven't heard of him. The guy never sinned. Okay, now, if the Torah is the instructions, that's the 5 books of Moses, listen very carefully. The Nevi'im, that prophetic part, capital P, is telling you what you can do wrong. Now, that also contains messianic prophecy for a reason I'm not going to go into right now. Then what is the role of the writings? The role of the writings is this is how you get back. That means if the problem is contained in the prophets, and okay, I messed up, like Isaiah said, like Jeremiah said, like Ezekiel said, then the writings is this is the medicine to the disease of sin, and go to the book of Psalms and talk to God, and this is what you do. So Psalms is the antidote, is the healing, is the medication for Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, right? Chronicles is the healing. Proverbs, this is how you fix the problem of sin. The church, they want to add on the business. Why? Because what does the Christian Bible want to be the healing, the antidote to sin? They don't want the book of Psalms to be the healing. So what they do is they switch it around so that when you're looking for a healing, when you're done with Malachi, you then go to Matthew. And there's your healing. It's the cross.
And John the Baptist becomes a reincarnation somehow of Elijah, which where in the
only Matthew, not in John. In John, he denies it.
Right. So it's like, that's one of the things that Elijah's going to come back. Elijah never comes back. So how do they fix that? Oh, well, just say John the Baptist is Elijah. Fix that problem. It's like you just see all these.
But John the Baptist is asked, "Are you Elijah?" And he
says no.
It's
so crazy.
If you're not familiar with the text, you may think that you're listening to someone who just doesn't like Christianity for whatever reason, and I'm like making this stuff up.
But it's right there. It's
right
so
there.
Easy to find it.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ועת נעשה בחפצו כל אז אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא.